Hi everyone, welcome back to the USCPA classes for financial accounting and reporting. In this video, which is part 2 of property, plant and equipment, I'll be walking you through in detail about depreciation and all the methods of depreciation. So let's understand in detail everything about depreciation.
Okay, so next one is depreciation. It's a bigger topic. Okay, we can start. We can do this one page. Let's go through the depreciation method, type of depreciation, and basic concept. And then maybe like method of depreciation we'll cover after the break. So depreciation. What is depreciation?
The
In a layman language?
depreciation is
A reduction in the value of an asset.
value of asset, how much the asset is being used.
Yeah, on account of time, wear, and
Well,
tear,
obviously.
all those things, right?
Depends upon
So the
the
basic principle of a matching revenue and expenses is applied to the long-lived assets that are not held for sale in the ordinary course of business. That is your property, plant, and equipment. The systematic and rational allocation is used to achieve the matching concept, usually accomplished by depreciation, amortization, depletion according to the type of long life assets. Like for the normal property, plant and equipment, we use depreciation, right? And for natural resources, we use depletion. For intangible, we use amortization. Make sense?
Yes.
Type of depreciation. First one is physical depreciation. This type of depreciation is related to the asset deterioration and wear and tear over the period of time. Second is functional depreciation. Functional depreciation arises from the obsolescence or inadequacy of the assets to perform efficiently. So obsolescence may be result from diminished demand for the product that the depreciable asset produce, or from the ability of new depreciable asset that can perform the same function for substantially less cost. So there are two types of depreciation. One is physical depreciation, which is on account of passage of time or normal routine wear and tear of the asset. The second depreciation is a functional depreciation. That means when the usage of the asset gone down. That may be on account of change in technology. That may be on account of change in demand of the product. For example, if you see like the cars, like pre-COVID scenario, if you see, people were purchasing a lot of cars, right? But during the COVID time, if you have seen, everything has almost closed down, right? And then there was huge drop in the cars, right? And now after the COVID situation, the entire ecosystem for the automobile industry has evolved. And they have, if you see like in our country, the earlier focus, if you see like 5 years before from today, if you see, people used to prefer the diesel car, right? Yes, no,
Right.
right? But now everyone is talking about EV,
Yes.
right? Why is it?
So EV is less of carbon savings, more of carbon. Okay, leaving less of carbon footprint, and nowadays people are getting more and more concerned about the environment. At least the
Yes.
general people are. So they,
Yes.
why not switch to a better alternative that is less polluting? That's why they are switching to EVs.
There are
even
three.
cost also like plays an important role. Like सर पेट्रोल डीजल की कॉस्ट थोड़ी हाई है एंड एज कंपेयर टू ईवी तो उसमें सर बैटरी चेंज करनी है
Plus,
द कॉस्ट विल बी लेस पर किलोमीटर.
पेट्रोल पे भी कम होता जा रहा है हमारा, जो कि सारा यूएई और मिडिल ईस्ट कंट्रीज से आता है, विच इज वेरी एक्सपेंसिव. तो वो भी एक प्लस है.
Yeah, so couple of reasons to it. One is like the pollution which we have in our nation, right? And we have seen like many people are suffering from many diseases only and only because of pollution. One thing. Second thing is the awareness to the new buyer, right? If you see like people like of our age are being more aware about the benefit of EVs, whereas like the people maybe like our parents age, they are still being into like those petrol and diesel car still in their mind. And some people, crazy people, they need more power than EV, but we are being more aware of like the how it will support the overall environment and ecosystem, right? Third thing is government has done two things, one positive and one negative thing. I would say the positive thing, they have given subsidies to purchase the EVs, right? That include both central government and state government.
No, sir,
On the
अब नहीं
other
होती.
hand, they have significantly increased the prices of petrol and diesel, right?
Yeah.
So that they have like like continuously pushing you to think in this direction to move to the EV,
But sir,
right?
now the subsidy has been, there is no
Mhm.
subsidy on EV.
No, it depends on state to state. Many states still do have and good amount of subsidy. Like in Maharashtra, you can get 2 lakh to 3 lakh rupees subsidy if you purchase EV. In Gujarat also 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh rupees. Rajasthan also they give 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh rupees subsidy. So it again depends on state to state. And another side, they have taken a step like 10-year life of the diesel car and 15-year life of the petrol car,
Right.
right?
Agree.
So those have impacted those have given the functional depreciation. You see, like in many car seller who is like old car seller, earlier they might be selling Mercedes, BMW at a range of 15 lakh rupees to 20 lakh rupees second hand. Now they are available in 3 lakh to 8 lakh rupees very comfortably,
Yes.
right?
Mm,
Why? Because of the functional shift, right? Makes sense? What is
right.
physical depreciation and what is functional depreciation?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Next topic is salvage value. What is salvage value?
So the remaining value after the life of the asset.
Absolutely right. So salvage value or residual value is an estimated amount that will be realized at the end of the useful life of the depreciable asset. So frequently depreciable assets have little or no salvage value at the end of the estimated useful life, and if immaterial, the amount may be ignored in calculating the depreciation. So if there is a salvage value, then how do you calculate the depreciation? Cost minus salvage value divided by life, just for straight line method of depreciation. So different method use different uh, basis, but the top line, or you can say numerator, is generally this. But if the salvage value or residual value is negligible or not material, then you can ignore as well for the calculation of depreciation purpose. What is estimated useful life?
So the life over which the asset is expected to give benefits to the company.
Right, absolutely true. If you see like the petrol car, the government has now defined its 10-year life. After that, it has to be scrapped, right? So it may be on account of the performance of the respective assets, or it may be on account of legal requirements, right? So estimated useful life is a period of time over which an asset cost will be depreciated. It may be revised at any time, but any revision must be accounted for prospectively. This is change in accounting estimate, not change in accounting policy, right? So current and the future period only, whatever the changes you will be making. A quick small note over here is must check the date of asset placed in service during the year. So when you're purchasing the asset during the year, so when, like in your question, when it has been mentioned that particular asset has been purchased during the year at this particular time. So sometimes students get confused and they calculate the depreciation for entire year. But in that case of scenario, you should be mindful that the depreciation should be calculated only for those respective part of the year rather than full year, right?
राइट सर, ये सर पुट टू यूज की तरह हो गया उसमें।
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you are absolutely right. Next topic is component depreciation. Have you heard this term before? Component depreciation.
यस सर।
Earlier, it was not in US GAAP. It
Right.
came from IFRS.
IFRS में सबसे पहले इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था और उसके
Yes.
बाद gradually-
India has also used component depreciation, and now US GAAP also added the component depreciation concept. So, what is component depreciation?
component depreciation is basically, suppose एक हमारे पास बहुत ह्यूज एसेट है, suppose an एयरक्राफ्ट है। अब उस एयरक्राफ्ट के बहुत सारे पार्ट्स हो सकते हैं, जैसे कि उसकी इंजन अलग है, सीट या फिर कुछ और पार्ट है, विंग्स, ऐसा कुछ भी है। तो हम हर कंपोनेंट की लाइफ देखते हैं अलग अलग, और हर कंपोनेंट पे डिप्रिशिएशन चार्ज करके उसको दिखाते हैं अपने फाइनेंशियल्स। कंपोनेंट
Yeah.
डिप्रिशिएशन।
Kashish, you got the concept? What?
Yes, sir. Yes, clear, sir.
Right? Yeah. So have you heard this term before? Component depreciation.
Sir, actually, but if I read the line, so it is clearly mentioned. कि actually different जो components होते हैं किसी particular asset के, and then if we are going to sell it off, then the depreciation जो भी होगा उस पे, then it will be in the accounting terms में we will have to evaluate.
Yeah, if you remember the printing machinery which is being installed at your relative factory, so there might be one conveyor belt, right? There might be some, you can say, hardware equipment, and there would be some, you can say computer or machinery, operating machine, right? If you see, these three have different life. The computer machinery may have life of 3 to 5 years, because every 3 to 5 years there might be some upgradation required. But conveyor belt has a longer life, maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, because it's all made of metal, right? And then there is a printing machinery, in that there are certain drums, right? Those printing drums may have life of 2 years, 3 years, right? And every 2 to 3 years they need to change the drum. So if you see, this entire machinery have these three basic component, and all these component have different value as well as different line. So you should be depreciating them separately, right? Conveyor belt can be depreciated over the period of 10 years. Software can be depreciated over the period of the life of the software, right? And the machinery which has all these drums can be depreciated over the period of 3 years or 5 years, whatever the life of drum, right? That is more realistic or not, rather than depreciating the entire machinery for 10 years.
Right, sir. This is more
More,
right?
ज़्यादा reliable.
So that is called component depreciation. Component depreciation is a separate depreciation of each part of the item in property, plant and equipment that is significant to the total cost of fixed assets, right? Component depreciation is permitted but rarely used in the US GAAP, because it is very new concept. People are still not used to it. Second is composite or group depreciation. Composite depreciation is the process of averaging the economic life. So this entire printing machinery, they may have software life 3 years, they may have drum life 5 years, they have conveyor belt life of 10 years. So they do average 7-year life, right?
Okay.
That is called composite or group depreciation. Composite depreciation is the process of averaging the economic life of the number of property units and depreciating the entire class of asset over a single life, right? Thus simplifying the record keeping of the assets and depreciation calculation, and this is also allowed as per GAAP,
correct.
right?
Okay.
So if you see, so far we gone through the concept of property, plant and equipment, costing, right? What is property, plant and equipment, how to calculate the costing of it, then we did certain example of it, and then we started the depreciation. So in depreciation, we understand what is the type of depreciation, say what is salvage value, what is estimated useful life, what is component depreciation, and what is composite or group depreciation, right? Maybe we can take a break now, because next topic is bigger. It may not be finished in 10-15 minutes, which is a depreciation method. So all 5 type of depreciation method we'll be discussing, and then we'll do certain practice question before we jump on to the next topic.
Done.
Right? So it's again 12, around 12:20. So maybe we'll come back at 12:40. 20 minutes is fine.
Done, sir.
Okay,
Done.
let's come back at 12:40. Hopefully your good friend Gurmeer will also join. ठीक है.
चलो, बाय.
मिलते हैं.